My name is Zoe McMahon. I'm going to be a senior at Pompano Beach High School.
Awesome. Thank you. So, what made you realize that you needed our service?
As I was taking PSAT tests and SAT tests throughout the school year, I noticed that what I was already doing wasn't really helping me at all. Like I just had basic knowledge, but I wasn't retaining anything that I was actually learning while I was prepping.
So, you were doing a prep at that time?
Yeah. Just
Gotcha.
it was just like I would practice certain things like on Khan Academy, but it would only like go for like a few questions, but it didn't allow me to like retain anything that I did. So I would forget it after a few days. So it like didn't help really at all.
So, Khan Academy, right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about your situation at that time, right? Like, um, what grade were you in? What math class? Had you taken a test before?
So I had taken at that point I hadn't taken an SAT. I was studying for my first SAT. I was in pre-calc.
Okay.
So I had like a basic knowledge of everything. Like I had algebra 2 knowledge. I had everything. It just wasn't helping me really
And what kinds of problems was this causing you? Like, why was it an issue that it wasn't helping you?
because it didn't have any type of thing where it would repeat or allow me to re-see those questions ever. So, for example,
Huh?
like I would understand the topic like at hand. I would see it. I would understand it at that moment in time. But if I didn't see that question again or questions like that again, I just forgot it. Like I just didn't need that information anymore.
Okay. And how have what you've experienced with us, how has that been different than that?
I feel like your program really emphasizes the repetition and the mastering of certain subjects that are really needed to do well on the SAT. So after being able to know and continue to like do all the homeworks, like continue to repeat those questions and like do a bunch of those problems, see them in the practice tests, I was able to retain it and know it. And then after that, doing it in class and getting more knowledge after that, it helped me a lot, I think.
It just stuck.
Yeah.
Nice. And I mean, ultimately, like, why'd you like, or actually, how'd you find this?
Actually, it's a friend of ours, and her daughter was did the tutoring with you guys and got very good results, even amazing results. So we went through Chloe and
Right.
now refer you guys. So, and I will say that that was the best thing that was recommended to me.
I
And
almost forgot the connection here. That's awesome. I'm glad I remembered this is the Chloe connection. All right. Well, before you decided to work with us, what was your expectation of the virtual group learning environment?
I expected it to be almost like how online class was during COVID. So it would be like kind of like it was boring and like I was almost like afraid to ask questions or like even like get a question wrong because the atmosphere was so like it was so awkward and uncomfortable. But that didn't happen. Like during this program, I was comfortable getting a question wrong because my teachers would make it okay. And like the people around me, it was like I was comfortable. I was very comfortable.
That's good. I'm glad. I'm gonna give them some feedback.
Yeah.
And I mean, so for another student, how would you describe our service to them? Like, what should they know?
I think that they should know that it is something that you have to be committed to. If you're not committed into doing it, you're not really gonna try and not gonna put your all into it. You're not gonna get anything from it.
So, in other words, it's a lot of work, right?
Yeah, it can be at times.
All right. So sometimes it's not that bad for you.
No, sometimes it's not that bad, but sometimes it's a
I'm gonna,
little.
I'm gonna assign more homework.
Yeah, but she does it. Even she's tired, it's amazing. She still do it and she's committed. And I think that's a really the way you guys have the program and how it's done, it's amazing. Or at least for the way. It made a big difference to her.
That's awesome. Is there anything in particular about the prep course that you found like to be the most helpful?
I think when I would take the practice exams and then I got to see like what I got wrong and exactly what I did wrong. Because sometimes I would, like for Khan Academy, I would take that practice test. I would get my score, but I wouldn't know what I got wrong or like what I did wrong. But then I had like a step-by-step way and sometimes like different options of ways I could have done it, which I think really helped me because then I did do it for the next time I saw any type of question like that.
I can tell you really did watch those videos, huh?
Yeah.
You saw the double options. Nobody ever talks about those. Like for some of the tests, I give you 2 or whatever. That's cool. That's why your scores have been going up like crazy. So it makes sense. You actually pay attention. So it's different. Everybody can do the same course, do it different. You're gonna get different results, right?
Yeah.
So you're doing it right. Congrats. And well, let me ask you another question. Actually, that I've been in the past few conversations I've had with students, this has come up where because I mean, the grand majority of students will say that, you know, ultimately the practice tests are what do it, right? Like I'll ask them, what's the most helpful thing? They're like, practice test, which I'm like, yeah, I feel you. That makes the most sense, right? Because at a certain point, you just need to just take the test over and over again and obviously go over what you got wrong, which I mean, seems obvious retrospectively, but I know a lot of students who do tests and they don't go over what they got wrong, like thoroughly, you know? And so, yes, it is important to take a bunch of practice tests and go over what you got wrong thoroughly so you don't keep making those mistakes. Here's my question. Would it still be the same only doing practice tests and not having the classes? Be honest.
I think no, because the classes is what made like certain formulas or certain ways of doing things stick into my head. Like that practice is what made me like, oh, I remember I did this in class. I can apply it here.
So it's the combo.
Yeah, it's the practice that like helps me remember everything. And once I remember, I know where to apply and when to apply it, I think.
But I think it's a good combo because that makes them she has to do that class, so she knows that she has to do a specific work at that time. So it's a good thing for her to even review that during the class. So it's really like a total commitment.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfect because otherwise when you study by yourself, you can just get less motivated. And that way she's totally committed. For me, it's amazing.
It's what did you want to go to med school?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know why I remember that, but I do. And there you go. This is well, you know what? You're on your way.
Thank you.
It's gonna be the same level of commitment you're gonna need, maybe more, you know. So, you know, it's stepping stones. This is the work ethic you've shown. You have a good start. So
Thank you.
But there's something that she mentioned once that she really liked about your program. That's how well it was organized.
Oh, yeah.
And set up. And kudos to you guys because that was really great for her. She was able to.
Can you expound on that a little bit?
It was everything like I had trouble on. Like I didn't get just random questions and like how every question had a video solution to it. I thought that was really cool. In the beginning, I was like, whoa, like
I'm glad you used them. Some kids don't like the videos, you know, and that's why we do both. Written video.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Nice. And in terms of the organization, was that more of like a how because I don't expect students to understand like how I organize like the topics. Because like I feel like, you know, there's a lot of organizing and stuff that goes on in the back that I'm like, you guys don't need to know about that. I just do it, and it's not gonna make sense to you, but it's like I know what I'm doing with that, right? Like this before that, or was it more of like how organized it was in like, you know, clean, giving you the homework and like each class going over a certain thing, you know? Like I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like in your mind, the word organized, like what does that mean to you?
It's like how it was very accessible. Everything was very accessible to me. I was able to get the help that I needed, like right there. And if, in case, like, I'm not sure if that makes sense.
It does. You used your words well. You changed it. You know, it's not necessarily that it was organized in the sense that it was accessible and the team was always ready. And I guess the team being the videos too, right? Like to support you when you needed it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I guess part of that is, you know, when I assign homework, I also know, I know what you need help with, depending on whatever group you're in, like more or less, right? Like some stuff I do more repetition, some stuff I'm like, no, I know you need this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like sneak it in there. So, all right, cool. That's great feedback. Thank you. And so I guess ultimately, what result did we help you get? Like, what was your, you know, your initial score, final score, and total improvement?
So my initial SAT score before taking this was a 580. And then after the first session, it was a 690. So I think it's like 110 point increase.
You better get that right. That's always the test. Don't worry, I've gotten that wrong. Oh man, I tell people I'm good at calc, but I can't add sometimes. So that's awesome. That's awesome. And I mean, now you're doing it again, and I don't know, the last 3 practice tests, you got like a 760, 750. So don't worry. You keep doing what you're doing. I'll worry about the numbers. Just keep doing the work. I still have to assign you another like 10 practice tests. I got some new ones. Don't get too excited. I have some new ones ready that we've been preparing. So it'll be good. We're gonna have to have another one of these, by the way, just letting you know when you get like an 800. So
Okay.
but awesome. And what has this result meant for you or enabled you to do?
It enabled me to get 100% bright futures. And it has enabled me to meet some requirements for some colleges already.
So now you want more.
I do. I do.
I was like, I want more. I'm glad. You know, I didn't know you had the bright futures already.
Yeah.
But
Congrats.
I think it gave her also the confidence that she needed. That just little thing that just made her wanted more, even more after that. But that was definitely for me the best investment that I ever did, probably.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad. No, I remember. It was funny because at first, you know, like you were like in the middle group, and you were doing real good. In every class, we put little notes, and they're like, "Yeah, I think Zoe can move up." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna look." And then you would do all your homework. That's the important. People don't get that, right? So you actually did your homework. You did it for real. You didn't just do it, you know. Like you did it. And then over time it just built up, and then every class you moved up with them to another group, another level, and they're like, I think we can move her up. And I'm like, okay. And at a certain point, I'm like, oh yeah, we got to put her in like the top, bro. We're going all out right now. So that's why. I mean, right now you're in a good group. Everybody in there is trying to get. I mean, I'm thinking 800, but whatever. You guys think whatever you want. I'm telling you, I haven't stopped working. Like you guys think that I feel like sometimes I'm like, what do these kids think I do all day, right? You know, like what goes through your mind? Like, what is this guy? Like, I don't teach you, right? Like, so it's like, what is this guy doing all day? He just texting me on the chat, like, do your homework. Like, I don't know, right? But the whole time I'm making problems and trying to make new worksheets to because there's always a little bit better we can do, right?
I saw you post it. You posted like, "Oh, I love making new math problems."
You got me. I do. It's fun. I don't know. It feels like, I don't know. It's like a artwork or whatever, you know, you created something. So, and I know that, you know, at the end of the day, it's gonna help you guys.
Yeah, and I think the passion that you have for it also transpire in all the kids. That gives them great opportunities and motivation. And
Well, one more question. How could our program be improved?
I think it's been pretty good to me so far. So I think the way it is pretty
I'll think of something.
good.
I'll figure something out. I know that there's always a way. Well, is there like anything else we should know?
I think that, like, as my mother said, like, this program gave me a lot more confidence in myself. Like, the more and more I saw myself improve in the practice test, the more I felt like, oh, like maybe I can do good. And maybe I am like actually improving in what I'm doing. And I think that really helped me also getting better because I felt like I could do it too. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, those small victories.
Yeah.
it did boost her motivation and
Yeah, you know,
wanting.
you need this, you need the little victories at first to
Yeah.
keep going.
But I think it's also like it's matching your program match with who she is and what she needs. So it was the perfect combination.
Yeah, with a soon-to-be med student.
Yeah.
It's got to be in your DNA. I'm telling you, it's in your DNA. You got to work. The working hard, that's got to be in you, you know? So it did match. That's good.
She does work hard because we had family over and she was really working late at night and early in the morning. I can tell you that one.
Whatever it takes. And so congrats, Zoe. You've done a phenomenal job so far, and I'm very excited for the next month of intense work that we're gonna do. Good work.
Thank you.
Awesome. Peace.